So part two. What's going on, Psych Perspectives here, giofvcks. Happy holiday season. Well, I should say season greetings, because I don't know if it's going to be happy. It's a lot of shit going on. But part two. If you know that it's not reciprocated and it's no longer what you're interested in, you have every right, and you are an adult. You are a person. If you know this is wrong and this ain't how you vibing, you can make a change for yourself. And that's what I'm saying. You got to stop. I'm learning from me in my self-care journey. I have to stop complaining about, oh, this ain't right. They treated me like this. And how come I can't do, and blah, blah, blah. And what about, and da, da, da. Because in the whole time I'm doing that, to a certain extent, that's a distraction from me making the decisions I need to make to end this toxic situation or this situation that I'm not vibing with. So what I've been doing is, okay, that's cool. I've known you, some of these people, like I said, they're your family members, they're your friends, they're your associates, they're your significant others, they're your boos, they're your partners. They're your siblings, your parents. Let's be real, they are key figures in our lives. And let's be honest, you can't necessarily go, in my opinion, you can't necessarily go no contact with every damn body. You can't just cut everybody off cold turkey. You feel me? You can't do that with everybody. In my opinion, and I'm being real, in my own life, in my own lived experiences, right? But there are people where you can just be like, bitch, you done with it. There are situations like that you can do that with. But for example, when we're talking about what I mean by you can't necessarily, in my opinion, and my own lived experiences, you can't necessarily cut everybody off. Case in point, those of you who have children with toxic, dysfunctional, narcissistic, emotionally abusive, this toxic people that y'all have children with, you can't necessarily cut them completely cold turkey off at all times. But you can put up the necessary boundaries. Boundaries to protect yourself. To protect your mental health, your physical health, your financial health, your sexual health, etc. You can do what you can do to protect yourself in those situations, right? Because the children, a lot of people, y'all just ain't good for each other, but they're good for that child. That could well be, right? I've seen that. We've seen that. We've witnessed that, right? Well, some of us have. I know I have, right? So, or, you got family members that you can't necessarily just say whatever because that's still your family. Now, I know a lot of people will throw up, that's toxic. You shouldn't be just doing, and I feel you. I agree with you, but I also recognize nuances. Everything you said is true. We got to have boundaries. We shouldn't be putting up with disrespect and being used and abused to serve like hell. Till one day okay, never mind. I was about to just go into some Sugar Hill on you real quick. Right? I was finna take it back. And Grandmaster Jay and the Furious Five. Right? Or Grandmaster Flash. My bad. I'm all over the place today. But anyways, happy holidays. But anyways, or season greetings. Is you recognize that. You can't necessarily just dipset on everybody. But you can notice that these are some relationship dynamics that you are not vibing with. You no longer rock with this. Okay? And you can do what? You can distance. No, but for real, you can distance yourself from that person, from that situation, from those people. You can still have love for them. You can still care about them. You can still talk to them. You can still hang out with them. You can still check up on them. But you can have your boundaries and you can know, hey, this is where you and me stop. This is as far as we go. And that's cool, because that's how it is sometimes. And that's how it has to be a lot of times in order to preserve your own mental well-being, your own physical well-being, your own health, you know. And a lot of times that's the only way that y'all can preserve that relationship with that person in your life, or them in, it is what it is, you know. And I think a lot of us just have to realize that. I'm not saying that you gotta be cutthroat with everybody, but I'm also not saying that you gotta put up with bullshit, you know, and situations not being reciprocal and one-sided, and you just feeling used and abused, and, you know, hey, right? But yeah, boundaries. Boundaries are essential. Like, they're essential. And again, these are things that you should be teaching your children. You should be teaching the children, the youth, the adolescents, the young people. Boundaries are important and essential, because you don't want to be sitting up here just running amok and being used and giving and giving and giving and giving and being hurt and hurt and hurt, and then complaining, but yet you steady in that same cycle. Like, you can make choices. You can make better choices and arrangements, you know, and that's where I want people to start realizing, like, we can make better choices for ourselves. We can make better decisions. We can have boundaries and self-respect and self-love, right? And self-esteem and self-care. You know, it's so many things that all of us as individuals can be doing, as well as what we can be doing together, collectively. So that's part 2. More videos like this is to come. Again, I'll be meaning to make videos and go live and do stuff, but I'm busy, you know, my life, my job, but I'm also checking myself and being accountable, because it's like, okay, these are excuses after a while. You're always saying the same shit. So you either want it or you don't. Like, what am I going to do? So I'm going to push myself. I also want to give a shout out to Sarah Speaks and to the Chain Breaker Show. I'm going to put a link to both of their YouTube channels in the description box below. Definitely check them out. They have their videos and their perspectives where they talk about various topics related to mental health, family, sexuality, gender, life. They do a little bit of everything on both of their channels, and they also have their own podcast. So check out their stuff. Their links to their YouTube channels will be in my description box below. And yeah, I'm out.